Promises to be an epic. Vasquez Marquez 3, March 1st on Showtime. It's time for action in the female 140-pound division as triple threat Tonya Evinger tangles with the double tough Julie Kedzie. These two women know how to throw down.
I'm going to bring a lot of excitement. I'm going to bring sexiness to the cage, you know, whatever it takes to win. I want the knockout every time. I want the bonus every time, you know, just to get a good hit on somebody, you know, you rock them. That's awesome, you know. It's all out, everything you got, your whole body, everything, all your punches. I just want to keep physical, keep active. Wrestling I've been in for 13 years, and it's an awesome sport. I think MMA is a great place for wrestlers. Gives us somewhere to go after wrestling, gives us a sport that we're good at, where we can dominate at, you know. We just got to pick up the rest. You know, jiu-jitsu, I think jiu-jitsu was easy for me to pick up because I was a wrestler, so just, you know what, I'm just going to come out balls out, give it everything I got, use all the skills I got to win a match.
Tonya Evinger grew up a tomboy, beating up her brothers on the family farm, and in fact she took it all the way to school, guys. She was a member of the boys varsity team in high school in wrestling. She was the first ever three-time champion of the high school national wrestling tournament for girls, placed second in the U.S. National Freestyle Wrestling Tournament. She's wrestled all over the world, but now she wants to be a force in mixed martial arts.
At Elite XC Uprising, Tonya Evinger clashed with the face of women's MMA, Gina Carano. Evinger looked great early on, taking advantage with her strong wrestling skill, and she hopped into a guillotine choke, of which she hoped to end the fight, but wouldn't you know it, Gina Carano popped out, got back control, and sunk in her own rear naked choke to finish the fight. Although not victorious, Tonya gained a lot of respect for her willingness to stand and trade with Gina Carano, the popular one.
Frank, after the fight, Evinger said she had a mental lapse in that Carano tilt. We all know that 90% of the fight game is mental, something she probably has to work on.
She does. She says she gets real bad nerves before her fights and before wrestling. It's part of who she is. But when you grow as a fighter and you learn confidence, and I think the Carano fight gave her confidence. I'd like to see what she does tonight.
Her opponent made history with Gina Carano in February of 2007.
What I bring to MMA is passion. I come in here for the battle, I come in here for the war, and when I fight, I'm living my passion and I'm living my dream. Every time I step into the ring or the cage, I have something to prove, but it's not usually to the crowd or the other person. I'm proving to myself that I have what it takes, and I'm proving to myself that I can be the best mixed martial artist in the world. Julie Kedzie is the cheerleader and the warrior. No, winning is when you've executed everything the way it needs to be. Winning is not the be-all, end-all of my experience. What I want is the battle. That's what I'm in there for. I'm in there to fight my heart out, and I want them to raise my hand. That's what I'm doing it for, to get my hand raised. But if I don't, and I fought my heart out, then I haven't lost.
Well, they say blondes have more fun, but Julie Kedzie has decided to make the move to the dark side. Yes, she has dyed her hair black, making a statement saying that she has been reborn as a fighter, because since her monumental tilt with Gina Carano in the first ever show of Elite XC, she went to Albuquerque, New Mexico, recruited by the very estimable Greg Jackson. So she feels that Jackson has infused a lot more confidence in her game, and you know, not only is she a great fighter, she is very, very cerebral, a well-educated young lady.
And it was at that first ever Elite XC title Destiny that Julie Kedzie tangled with the Muay Thai sensation, Gina Carano. It was a back-and-forth battle that saw Kedzie be elusive but willing to trade with Carano, which many thought was a suicide mission. She also frustrated Carano on the ground and proved that she was very competitive against the high level of mixed martial art competition.
Julie is rocking the dark side, and I love how she's been reborn. She went to Greg Jackson's. She's got confidence like nothing else. She says she's also terrified before her match, but she lets it come out on the ground in technique.
Let's go to the tail of the tape for this female 140-pound division contest. Julie Kedzie is 2 years older than Evinger. Evinger 2 inches taller than Kedzie. Kedzie weighed in at 139.7 pounds. Evinger came in just over at 140.2. All right, let's take you up once again to cage announcer Mark Lichtenfeld.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout is brought to you by Rockstar Energy Drink. It's scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds and a special 140-pound women's attraction. Introducing to you first out of the blue corner, standing tall at 5 feet 7 inches, weighing 140.2 pounds. This wrestler boxer has a professional record of 5 wins, 2 losses. Representing Lion's Den and fighting out of Reno, Nevada, please welcome Tonya Evinger. Her opponent out of the red corner, standing at 5 feet 5 inches, weighing in at 139.7 pounds. This mixed martial artist has a professional record of 11 wins and 6 losses. Representing Team Greg Jackson from Albuquerque, New Mexico, she is Julie Kedzie. Your referee in charge of the action, Kevin Mulhall.
This female fight is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Both these ladies have changed camps since their losses to Gina Carano. As we have told you, Kedzie is hooked up with Team Greg Jackson in Albuquerque.
Are you ready? Let's fight.
Evinger, after fighting in the Philippines for Ken Shamrock's Lion's Den squad, has made the move to California, and immediately Evinger takes down Kedzie into side control.
Well, this is where Kedzie wants to be submission-wise. I don't know if she wants to be jammed up in the cage like that, but submissions are definitely her game.
And it didn't take long for the wrestler to do her thing, Stephen.
Can't say I'm surprised that Tonya took her down like that, but Tonya is always bragging about how she's going to stand up and bang. I guess she changed that at the last minute.
That was her strategy.
Work it. There you go. There you go.
Looks like we got Kimura going on.
Kimura hold. It's awful deep, and if she doesn't get it, she's still got her face exposed on that one side.
She's starting to
now.
Drop those bombs into the face, now looking for the rear naked choke.
She's almost got complete back control, Frank.
Well, Julie's got to slide her back off and put it flat on the mat. You can win this game if your back's on the mat. If she's on your back, if Tonya remains on your back, she's going to be in a terrible position.
1 minute is gone in the opening round. Tonya Evinger controlling the action on the ground, looking for the rear naked choke. Julie Kedzie, what does she have to do here, Frank, to escape harm's way?
She's got to keep her cool, and she's got to get that hand control off. Tonya doesn't exactly have her back. She's got the side of her back. If she loses that chin position, if she loses that hand game, she's going to lose this choke.
Turn into her, Julie. Turn into her, girl. Turn into her.
Another thing that Kedze's doing is staying down low. She's not up high on the back mount.
And she seems
but
to
this isn't good.
No, she seems to be under the chin, yeah, and looking to sink in the choke. Of course, Julie Kedzie, an indomitable fighting spirit. She is a gamer, and she is forced to tap out with 1:16 left in the opening round. Tonya Evinger submits Julie Kedzie with the rear naked choke. No mental lapses in this one.
No, she was on it and dominating fashion. Wow.
Kedzie came into this contest unbeaten since her fight with Carano. Since she hooked up with Team Greg Jackson, she had gone 3-0. That winning streak ends here tonight, while Tonya Evinger improves to 7-2, hooked up with the Lion's Den, and of course someone very familiar to you, Frank Shamrock. Your brother Ken is in her corner.
Shamrock MMA, it's pretty darn strong.
Gotta say that Evinger executed a perfect game plan. Came in, took the fight to the ground, worked for the Kimura, got back control, and then worked until she got that choke. Here it is. She's going to throw that overhand right, get the clinch, body lock, and a twist and turn right into side mount position. But Kedzie was going for something from the bottom here.
She was throwing her legs up. She had somewhat of an arm position, but you see her lose her arm there. And with arm control like that, that was the beginning of raining down punches. That's what convinced her to give the back. Once that back position was set, Tonya was all over her.
And Julie did extremely well at first, keeping down low, but once that arm got under the throat, it was all over.
One more look at it. Tonya Evinger slipping her right arm under the chin of Kedzie, forcing Kedzie to tap. And you know, I was thinking, Frank, your brother Ken, I might want to talk to you about something involving you and your brother later when we're off the air. I have an idea.
An idea, huh?
Yeah.
You mean maybe like brothers fighting?
Maybe. Let's go now to our cage announcer, Mark Lichtenfeld.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest comes to a halt at 1 minute 43 seconds of the first round for your winner by tap out caused by a rear naked choke, Tonya Evinger.
Okay, Tonya, it seemed like you had a really clear game plan. How did that go?
You know what? It went exactly like I planned. I knew Julie's been picking up her game, and I watched a couple of her fights, and as soon as she gets hit, she comes back with straight punches, and you know what? I was down for that, but the clinch was just too easy, so it felt to me like she was wanting to go down, so I just made sure I got a good position.
Now, we saw you go for the Kimura, then she turned her back to escape, and once she got back control, she almost got out.
You know what? I felt that I didn't. She got her chin down pretty good, but you know what? I had my legs in, and that's all I did in wrestling is leg control, leg riding, so I was really comfortable there. I just didn't want to mess up like I did last time.
Well, you didn't, and what goes around comes around, and you got choked out. Now you choked somebody out. How important was the change over to Ken Shamrock's Lions Den gym?
You know what? It was probably the best place I've ever been. MMA training is just off the hook there. I couldn't ask for a better coach. I couldn't ask for better teammates. You know, it just all around was awesome.
Tonya, impressive win. Let's hear it for Tonya Evinger.
Hey, thanks, Tap and Sleep. I want to thank Tap and Sleep for coming out and watching me tonight.
Coming into this fight, the question mark surrounded Tonya Evinger's ground game, her finishing skills on the ground. Well, she answered that question tonight as she made Julie Kedzie tap out. And there she slaps hands with the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock. And